Welcome to Intuitive Astrology with Molly McCord. Thank you so much for joining me today. This is a Monday podcast where we always focus on some type of specialty area of astrology or a special topic. And in today's show, I wanted to share with you some of the channeled messages I've been receiving around LGBTQ energies. And this information has been coming in for actually a few years now, and it's finally all come together and accumulated into some insights that I would love to share with you. This information will incorporate some astrology, but it's mostly channeled messages, and it's designed to be very empowering and, of course, to ensure that you resonate with this information and with what they're showing me are important things to embrace, love, and accept. Now, full disclosure, I am a heterosexual woman, and so this is not my experience in this lifetime, but that's why I feel it's very important to ensure that it resonates with you, the messages, the energy, what you're feeling, as it's designed to be empowering. It's designed to also give you a higher perspective on soul growth in this lifetime, on this planet, at this time. So as always, you are the one who decides what is true for you. So what I've been hearing and feeling are some very dominant, beautiful messages that I hope I can convey accurately and adequately, as sometimes it's hard to put the energies into words where they just have this feeling or this essence to them that's so beautiful and so light-filled. So I will get into that in a moment. But first I want to start with a question that is asked, and that is it possible to look at an astrology chart and know someone's gender, their sexual preference, their orientation? Is it possible to know that just by looking at a chart? And I have done thousands of charts now in my decades of working with astrology. And what I can tell you from my own experience is that it would be like looking at an astrology chart and trying to determine someone's ethnicity or someone's culture. And the answer is no. You can't. You don't know that information until you start talking to them, till you hear their story, you hear what they've been through, who they've understood themselves to be, what they've learned. It's really a dialogue that opens up that understanding. And astrologically, you can think about how, well, millions of people are born on the same day at the same time, and they all embody different energies. And that's because it's related to more of that soul's energy, the soul's essence, and what you chose to experience and move through in this lifetime. Now, I am going to share with you something that did come through as I was preparing to do this show for you. And again, take it as it resonates, because this will be different for every person. But what they were showing me, and by they, I mean my spirit guides, the energies I work with, they were showing me that if you can remember the time in your life, the day, perhaps even it was a certain month, if you don't remember this exact day, that you felt or knew that your orientation was not heterosexual, that you knew you were different, that you felt something within yourself that you maybe can't even put words to. If you can recall that day, that month, that time in your life, what they're saying is look at the astrology of that time, because specifically if you know the day, you could create a new birth chart for yourself that was the birth of your true identity. The awareness came into your consciousness, rose up through your body, came through you energetically. And if this was significant for you, again, it's different for everybody, but what they're saying is that if you can recall when that happened in your life, even if it was, say, a Thursday in February or, some Tuesday in November, that this was a birthing of consciousness, and you can create a natal chart for that energy. Granted, you were probably already in your human body, because what they're also saying is that some of you knew at a soul level the day you were born. And so it might feel like your natal birth chart is very important, but they're showing me that when there is a knowingness that comes through your consciousness, when there's a part of you that understands and connects with this truth in your energy field, when you connected with a truth of who you are, create an astrology chart based on that day. And just trust yourself. Trust yourself if you don't know the specifics or you forget what the exact day was. Just trust what you're drawn to. Trust what comes up for you. Because again, there could have been a birthing of energy that came through your consciousness that further aligned you with the truth of your own energy. And so then this could be at any age of your life. This could have been something that you really connected with, this part of your identity, when you were 7 years old, when you were 10 years old. It could have been when you were 2 months, because I've heard beautiful stories of people saying, I knew when I was an infant that I had a different sexual orientation than the norm. So trust what this is for you and know that this is how you can use astrology as well to look at another layer of your energy that came through to speak to you. Because that's when you opened up to more of your energy, more of your experiences in this lifetime, and again, more of the truth of who you are. And so there's this authenticity rising up, and it's meant to be accepted, loved, embraced, and claimed. And so that's what they're saying here, first of all, is that if you can recall what that was for you, look at the astrology. Now, this could also be connected to any types of celebrations, anything around a coming out announcement or something where you have maybe a pivotal conversation with that first person. Whatever is significant for you, whatever your memory goes to, or whatever you're energetically pulled towards would be something to look into, because that is a part of your soul speaking to you. And I'm seeing that energy coming back into you, where there maybe were parts of the energy that were fragmented. They were pulled outside of you, or they were just like floating around. And then it all kind of came together into your consciousness. And it was a rising truth, a rising understanding. And it was so beautifully supported by the divine. They're showing me this very beautiful energy that is actually unique to those who experience and identify as LGBTQ in this lifetime. They're showing me this energy that I can't quite put into, it's like I can't put it into words, and I can't quite pinpoint it, because it has literally like these waves of color and essence to them, like these waves of light particles that are so beautiful, and they're just filled with light. And they're showing me that every soul on the planet is actually connected to this energy, but that those who identify outside of heterosexual orientation have a unique energetic string tied to these really beautiful energies. I mean, it's making me cry almost, because it has this energy that is so light, like it has a lightness to it. And they're telling me that it actually originates on other planets, that there are other places, other planets, other areas of the cosmos where the energy of orientation isn't as dominant as it is here on Earth. And they're showing me that on our planet, where heterosexual relationships were the norm for centuries, that there have always been individuals who have come from other planets, souls who have come here to expand what it means to love one another. And the term that they're sharing is love volunteers. Love volunteers. Those who volunteered to expand love on the planet, but expand the definition, expand the understanding, expand the energy field. And it feels so beautiful. I have chills all over my body, and I'm trying not to cry, because of how much it's needed, how much it's needed on this planet. And they're telling me that every soul volunteered for various reasons to embrace and love themselves fully for who they are, without restriction, without self-division, with this wholeness. It's very holistic. It's very divine. And part of this energy that I feel is coming in, it's like these really unique light codes. And light codes, you could see them as like snowflakes. And we know that every snowflake is different. Every snowflake is its own special shape and design. But this is an energetic light code that is beautifully supported. And in fact, the message that I'm hearing as well is that those who are embodying this particular light code, this energy, it's actually also very protected. There's a protection around it. There's this energy of helping you feel safe on this planet. And that is one of the main messages, is that there are many reasons, and of course you can look at history and you can look at even today to know that there's reasons to not feel safe in who you are. But they're telling me that the souls with these energy codes are uniquely protected at much higher levels. And it's like this higher vibration, higher consciousness of protection. And it looks like there's even a special coating, like a special barrier around these light codes that support feeling safe on the planet at this time, because of course there are many different soul experiences that were very much, it's not safe, or you were killed, you were murdered, you died. There's a lot that has happened by being different, by not being quote unquote part of the norm or part of the mainstream. And what I'm feeling here is that there are so many individuals who are stronger at a soul level in this lifetime, in their whole self-identity, that's part of why you chose to incarnate in this lifetime, why you chose to have LGBTQ experiences, self-identity, to really know this energy in yourself, to love it, to accept it, to embrace it, because there is a rising energy on the planet that is allowing more love in, more love to be understood, to be safe. And it's happening as part of the expansion of light on the planet. And again, there's different experiences here around this at a soul level. I mean, some people have some intense karma that they're completing in this lifetime. And that is first and foremost, they're showing me it's first and foremost related to family members, siblings, whether it's even more of the extended family or immediate family, that the people in the family environment, the family structure, can hold a lot of karma. And that's why there can be many experiences in your life, in your world, that take you to different places in understanding who you are. And they're showing me that it can feel like you're being stretched and pulled, and it can bring up so many emotions. And this is something that's very interesting, because they're showing me this actually through the younger years, let's say up until before teenage years. There's a lot more happening within the body's consciousness than you're maybe aware of. And this is, of course, different for everybody, so just trust what's right for you. But they're showing me the importance of body consciousness, of how your body has been speaking to you your whole life. And there could be messages you didn't hear, you didn't know how to understand, you didn't respond to. They're showing me that part of these beautiful light codes are deeply embedded in the DNA, very much at a cellular level, but your body speaks to you differently, and that this relationship with the body is very important in this lifetime. For whatever messages it's communicating to you, for whatever you're feeling in the body, whatever has been activated in you, it's a different relationship. And again, I'm a heterosexual woman, so I don't fully understand this because it's not my experience. So I just fully honor that I'm only conveying information that I really hope validates and supports your own experiences. And again, if it doesn't resonate, then that's fine. But they're showing me that the body has different messages than it does for heterosexuals, that it's something that's being communicated to you that only you know, and this is part of your mastery. This is part of what you're learning and understanding in this lifetime, is this relationship with your body. And this isn't simply about sexuality. This isn't even about physicality. It's about the energy you're embodying and what you're feeling and how you trust it, how you're understanding it, how you are in a conscious relationship with all of your energy in a way that you are designed to uniquely understand and master. And that this is why there can be a time in your life when it feels like your body wakes up. Your body starts responding or starts communicating to you differently. Your body's giving you messages that you're maybe not sure how to decipher, how to understand. And they're saying that there's energies within the physical self that are showing you more of who you are and how to trust yourself, how to trust your physical self. And they're showing me too that this energy with the body is directly related to how you feel safe. That part of taking a body and holding this energy, holding these energy codes, is how you then feel safe. Physically safe, sexually safe, emotionally safe, spiritually safe, safe in all aspects of your life, because this is a planet where when you don't feel safe, those messages can be very, very big. So this connection to the body is very important, and it has to do with your unique relationship with all of your energy and how it speaks to you. Now, another message that they were sharing with me is that so much of this lifetime is about not hiding from yourself, not hiding from your truth, not hiding from who you really truly are. And this is part of the Age of Aquarius energies, the expansion and opening into unique individual energy signatures, the expansion into the truth of who you are at a soul level, at a human level, at an energy level. And this is an expansive energy that in this lifetime, there is more openings than ever before to be yourself, to be all of yourself in all areas of your life, to open up your heart to yourself. And where there has been any type of trauma, abuse, rejection, abandonment, attacks, anything harmful, anything abusive, traumatic, that part of what you're healing might feel deeper for you than other people. Not that it's about comparison, not that it's meant to be seen that way, but it's meant to be validating that it could feel like a much deeper wound, because you could be working with this energy across multiple lifetimes where it's been unresolved. And so you as a soul came back and chose a family that would trigger you to grow, that would trigger you, provoke you, and support you at a soul level for the growth that you were ready to undertake in this lifetime. And so if there have been any relationships with tension, with anything that has been especially harmful and hurtful, that at a deeper soul level, these are individuals who volunteered to provoke, who volunteered to instigate change and be a catalyst for your expansion. And it's part of the relationship dance into freedom, into authenticity. And then they're also saying that if there were people in your life that you needed to leave behind, you needed to disconnect from them because it's not safe, you needed to separate yourself, perhaps feeling like the black sheep or the lone wolf, perhaps feeling like you were ostracized, kicked out, not accepted. All of that was beautifully orchestrated at a soul level for your empowerment, for your ability to step into the truth of who you are and to honor what you need to feel safe, because it's absolutely vital to step away from relationships or people who can't honor the fullness of who you are. And this then allows you to connect with those who can and who do. So I feel like part of what happens too, and again, I keep seeing the family relationships, is that you chose your own unique path. And part of what you chose as a love volunteer is to be a catalyst for others in your family to choose if their own capacity to love would expand, would contract, or would just stay the same. And so this is part of the energy, is that there are many who are catalysts in their family and in the soul's journey where you're completing something for yourself. It's like, I'm done with this. I don't have to deal with this. This isn't my problem. This isn't my energy. I have my life to lead. I have to follow who I am, and I'm excited about who I am and my talents and my abilities, and just knowing myself and knowing that I am accepted and loved for being here. So I feel like this energy is meant to be honored in all ways in yourself, as you also really get stronger in what self-respect means to you and what it looks like, what self-confidence means to you, and what it means to, again, really love, claim, and embrace everything, because there's so much energetic protection now. And it's been like these waves through history that's been very hard, and it's not to say it's easy now, but there are shifts now that are happening. And as I was preparing to do this podcast, I felt the energy of Matthew Shepard come forward. And he was the young man who suffered a brutal attack in Laramie, Wyoming. And it's, of course, heartbreaking, and it's one of these stories that we hear about and we see. And unfortunately, it brings out so much that is very intense and emotional. And yet what I feel around his energy, and we'd call him the soul, we know as Matthew Shepard, is that he is saying his life was a beautiful success because of the awareness and the openings he inspired in people who were ready. And he's showing himself as a catalyst of growth for him at a soul level, but also the bigger picture is how he was able to open up hearts and minds to those who were ready. And his energy feels so clear to me, like this beautiful essence of light. He was a Sagittarius, which is often about living a big life. And he's showing me that his energy has actually reincarnated back here on the planet, again as a gay man. He's also showing me himself as like a time traveler, where he's older than what he should be. If you were to put the calendar together, it's interesting. It's like I'm feeling him as older than what seems to make sense chronologically. But he has this energy about him right now that is like, I'm here for the team. I'm here for the team. I'm still following my soul's path. I'm still here to support this energy on the planet. And I get the energy of he really wants to participate in the Age of Aquarius. And he's saying that he's an Aquarius in this lifetime. And he has a lot of Aquarius in his chart because he really wants to continue this energy, this movement. Like, he's very enthusiastic. He's very strong. He's presenting himself as kind of a football player, like that massive energy, very strong, very motivated, very much like an athlete. We're going to do this. We're doing this. The team is here. And it has this really beautiful energy to it that I can't quite put into words, but I hope you feel it, because there is so much support for this expansion of love on the planet, for this expansion of acceptance. And of course, it unfolds in various ways, where some choose to be very public and vocal and advocates, and then others just want to live their life. And it's whatever is right for you, wherever that feels best for you. But the energy that's coming through, again, is about this full acceptance of self. And the other message they wanted to say too is, this is your home. You can be at home here. You can be safe here. And this does go back to the body the body's consciousness, because I'm getting the feeling that the nervous system can be very active. It can be very much alert for high danger. Is this dangerous? Should I say something? Should I not? Should I do this? Like, the nervous system energy feels like it can vibrate very, very quickly, but it can feel like the norm for you, or it can feel like this is just how I've always experienced my body. It's how I've always run energy. And what they're saying is to do anything that calms your nervous system, calms your energy, and settles it down, if that's what you want, to feel the essence of safety, to know this is your home, and that there is so much that's changed on the planet that is supporting more unique energies than ever before. And they're showing me this beautiful grid. It's one of those, I'm going to call it a color grid, where it's just all flows together. The energy just all flows together. It's very much about the movement of energy between colors. And it's interesting. It's not quite the pride flag, but it's more about colors where there's just no line in between them. Very similar to the RGB color picker or color graph. I don't know what to call it, but it's where you're looking to select a color and it has a unique code. They're showing me that even this doesn't explain the depth of the energies, where the energies go very deep, and it's so beautiful. It's so beautiful at this time on the planet. The expansion of love, the expansion of understanding, the expansion for those who are ready. And so you also have to remember that not everyone in this lifetime is ready, and that's their own soul's growth, for whatever reason might be correct for their soul in this lifetime. But they're showing me this rising of energies, this rising of these energetic light codes, and that it is a beautiful time to be all of yourself, especially with social media, especially with the rise of connections on social media. That's what I mean. The rising of others, the rising of a tribe, the rising of a bigger understanding. And that's just part of the grand energy. And they're saying that part of the age of Aquarius is the age of awareness, the age of expansion, and the rising of love, and what that even means and what that looks like at an individual level. So this is an energy that is about fully owning who you are, not hiding from yourself, and really looking at what your soul wanted you to experience in this lifetime, so that you would always travel with love for yourself first. And that's more important than it is for many others. And so that can require more of that dedicated work, more effort, more understanding, more self-acceptance. There could be certain processes or certain things that are best for you in order to feel that energy in yourself. And they're showing me too that there are influxes of energy that come in that activate your body consciousness even more, that activate even more messages that your body is sharing with you. And that this is when you could feel something rising up. You could feel it rising up through your chakras and what you need to say or express, where your sense of power is. There could be a rising here in your own spiritual perspective of yourself, of family members, of those around you. And so in many ways, it's a very unique experience that others don't understand and don't have. And it's more important that you understand yourself, or that you're ready to really embrace these messages as they're coming forward. Now, it can be through certain transits that a part of you awakens, that there are energies that come alive within you. And there are so many ways these transits can happen, where you feel a truth rising, an understanding of yourself bursting out, where there could be something that really is a catalyst for the truth of who you are. And so again, if there is a particular day in your life, or a particular moment or phase of your life when these energies were speaking to you, or when you find it rising up, what is that energy telling you? Because it might be worth creating a chart to understand the energy of that time, of that moment. And again, if you don't have a particular day, what you can do is use your natal astrology chart and then create the transits outside of the chart. And it could be that there was a strong activation by an outer planet to a part of your chart that was this opening. And so there are many ways that openings can happen. Uranus energy is typically associated with these awakenings, with what it means to be outside of the status quo, or what it means to be different, to be a unique individual. So if there was a Uranus transit in your chart during this time in your life, you were being liberated. You were perhaps even feeling rebellious and like you don't want to pretend anymore. You don't want to wear a mask. There can also be transits from other planets that are showing you more of who you are through different energies. Particularly Saturn can be a reality check of your truth and what you need. Chiron can show you what you're working through, the parts of yourself that you're deeply healing. The energy of Neptune can be confusing at first, where you feel this confusion around sense of self and who you are and what you're doing in the world or how you're identifying in the world. But when that Neptune fog clears, there's a higher understanding, and typically the messages are more intuitive with a Neptune transit. And then there is the Pluto energies, and a Pluto transit would be a very clear defining time in your life when anything that wasn't the truth of who you are is over permanently. It ends, it's complete, and there's no going back. There's a death of an identity as a new identity is born and emerges. So there's multiple ways that these transiting planets can be working with you at any time in your life. This is where you could also feel like you knew something at 8 years old, but it wasn't until you were 32 that you claimed it. And so that can be part of a soul's journey that's very normal. And they're saying to love that about yourself, that there can be very good reasons why you don't share the truth of who you are, why you don't come out yet. There can be very good reasons why. And don't be hard on yourself if you felt you had to keep a secret or hold something in or hold it back. You might not have been in the right environment. You might have been trusting yourself. There might have been really good reasons to play a role or wear a mask. And it's okay to not, again, be too hard on yourself for anything, because navigating this path is very individual, is what they're saying. It's very unique. It's very much like you're on hyper alert, perhaps, or you feel hypersensitive, or you're just, again, more aware that you're not heterosexual, or that there's something within you that makes you different from others around you, or family, or groups, or friends. And they're saying that the whole time you've been navigating this path, your soul has been helping you. And they're saying to work with this energy at night, that if you need to clear anything, when you're going to sleep, when you're ready to relax, that there's something that can happen at a neurological and physiological level to help you clear out anything that is preventing you from fully loving and accepting yourself. Because you have unique support in this lifetime. You have huge energies of protection, and they're saying that you have to initiate that, you have to call that in and ask for that. So if that is something that you want to utilize, they're saying to call it in, ask for it, whatever you might need, because it's a beautiful lifetime to embody these codes and to be a part of this energy that is waking people up, but it's also waking up to yourself, liberating yourself, understanding more of your energy, more of who you are. And they're also saying that on this planet, there are particular, we'll call them quote unquote expectations. And there have been certain things that have been expected of people. But so many are exhausted from that at a soul level. They just don't care. They just don't think it's important or valuable. And that's why there's this rising up of higher energies, new energies, more love-based energies that challenge the status quo or challenge those quote unquote typical expectations, because that's how we grow. And that's where humanity is learning at this time. And again, the energy is so beautiful and light-filled. It has definitely the crystalline energy signature, but that is something that is connected to the soul's growth. And there are individuals who don't have crystalline. They have the potential of crystalline in this lifetime. They have some more work to do in their personal journey that's about clearing and removing some karma, is what I'm feeling. But that it's possible for every soul to fully embody these energies. And so in many ways, it could feel like a big lifetime for you at a soul level. And that's exactly where you're supported. And there's going to be more support on the planet. They're showing me that the energy keeps widening and expanding. And they're showing me this even through some very unexpected places. That there could be even like, they're showing me the energy of a smaller town or a smaller city where there's going to be things like popping up that are catalysts. Like it just breaks through. The energy just opens up and there's shifts that are happening. Now, they're also saying that sometimes the human mind can resist the shifts and can hold back and be the last to change, but that the energies are shifting. The energies are moving where there is more support and protection than ever before. There is more love rising on the planet, and it feels like this is part of the overall transition into the new earth, into what it means to love one another fully, completely, openly. And this is why there are so many beautiful souls, billions of beautiful souls who came here to experience LGBTQ energies and to love yourself, to honor them, and to embrace them. They're also showing me this very interesting energy from earlier in the 20th century, and I'm going to say it's probably like the 1920s, 1930s, when there was a desire for these energies to come out as well. But the planet wasn't ready. There wasn't enough support. There was like this burst of energy that came out and then it went underground. And I know nothing about this historically. They're just showing me this energy. And so there could be many souls who feel like they were underground for various lifetimes and now you're not underground at all. Like now there is this huge liberation and they're showing me a lot of freedom. And they're showing me actually that the energies are spiraling in a really strong way. So I feel like if this resonates with you, if this is really lining up maybe with some of your experiences, all of your experiences, that part of what you're celebrating in this lifetime, you're being celebrated at a soul level. It's a much bigger deal than maybe we can understand at this time, because in order for humanity to grow, there needs to be these love volunteers. There needs to be individuals who break down the fences, who push away the walls, and who remove the dividing lines. And they're showing me this across many areas of life, many different energy fields. But this is more about, of course, what the human individual is experiencing in this lifetime. So there's a lot to celebrate, and there will be more to celebrate in terms of self-acceptance, self-awareness, self-respect, but then also the ongoing growth of humanity, the spiraling growth of humanity, and what it means to have a safe, loving experience on this planet, to love yourself, honor yourself, know who you are, know that you're safe, know that there's room for you, know that you're safe in your body, and to know that your energy is deeply needed at this time. And so I'm going to complete this show with that message that your energy is needed. You are needed here. You are a gift. You are, in fact, on a soul mission that can feel very individual and very personal, but it's also part of a bigger collective of energies that are opening up more on the planet. And I guess one more thing, they're saying you can call on the support of others in your lineage or ancestors or just others that you need support from. And this Matthew Shepard, I'm not kidding you, what an amazing firecracker of a soul who is so invigorated and so happy to support whoever needs support for being yourself. Know that you can call on these souls, on these energy signatures anytime you need it, and to trust what shows up for you, to trust what you're called to. So I hope this information has been beneficial and provided some understanding as I've received it. I hope it resonates, and of course, I hope that it helps you see more of the beauty of your soul's growth in this lifetime. As always, thank you so much for joining me. I do share more channeled messages over on my website at thegalacticcenter.com. And you can also find me on YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook. My website is mollymccord.online. Thank you so much for joining me. I'll be back here every Wednesday and Monday for a new podcast episode. And I do offer a variety of astrology videos over on YouTube. They're organized by different playlists. If you want to learn more about your astrology chart, if you want to learn more about transits or the full moons, the eclipses, a lot going on my YouTube channel. So thank you so much for joining me. It is always an honor to connect with your energy. It's wonderful that we are traveling together on this blue and green marble in the cosmos. And I hope you have a beautiful day ahead. I will see you back here soon.